The papyrus, putting on my table every month. I don't wanna be sad. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you say how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so alive. The papyrus.
Hello and welcome to the Papyrus TV News Update. First, the headlines. Reps order security agencies to flush out illegal foreign miners in Cross River. Court orders final forfeiture of properties linked to FIRS officer to federal government. Federal government sets date for commissioning of C-engine refueling stations across 6 states. Bashir Bayo Ojulari takes over as new NNPC Group CEO. Supreme Court rules courts cannot intervene in LP leadership dispute. Trafficked children with parents after operation in Taraba. President Tinubu appoints new heads for Bank of Agriculture and Ajaokuta Steel. The details. The House of Representatives has directed the Nigerian Army, Police, and the Department of State Services (DSS) to immediately flush out all illegal foreign miners operating across several communities in Cross River State. This directive followed a motion of urgent public importance moved by Honorable Alex Egbona, representing Abi Yakur Federal Constituency. Egbona raised alarm over the influx of heavily armed miners believed to be from the Sahel region of West Africa. He cited communities such as Agoy Ekpo, Agom Ibami, and Ekom Agoy in the Yakuru local government area as being overrun. The lawmaker described the situation as both a security and environmental crisis, noting that these illegal activities have endangered lives, caused extensive damage to the ecosystem, and threatened local livelihoods. The House noted that the miners' operations violate Nigerian mining laws and pose a threat to the country's sovereignty. The motion called for swift federal intervention to secure the affected communities and ensure that only licensed mining operations are allowed to function. The House further mandated its committees on Army, Police, National Security, and Solid Minerals to investigate the situation and report back within 4 weeks. Meanwhile, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has secured the final forfeiture of 2 high-value properties linked to a senior official of the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), Aminu Sidi Garumbaba, to the federal government of Nigeria. The ruling, delivered by Justice Obiora Egwuatu of the Federal High Court in Abuja on Thursday, April 3, 2025, came after an application filed by the EFCC through its counsel, Ekele Iheanacho, SAN. The forfeited properties include a 4-bedroom terrace mansionette with boys' quarters at Barumak Grove Estate, Plot 667, Cadastral Zone, BO3, Wuye District, Abuja, and another located at No. 5 Lodge Road, Kano State. The EFCC began the process on March 16, 2022, by filing an ex parte motion under Section 44, Subsection 2 of the Constitution and Section 7 of the Advance Fee Fraud and Other Related Offences Act 2006. According to EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale, an interim forfeiture order had previously been granted on February 16, 2022. It was subsequently published in a national newspaper to allow anyone with an interest in the properties to contest the forfeiture. During the hearing for the final forfeiture, the prosecution argued that the properties were reasonably suspected to be proceeds of unlawful activities. The defense raised an objection, insisting that since the respondent was still undergoing administrative disciplinary procedures, legal action was premature. Justice Egwuatu overruled the objection, emphasizing that administrative procedures do not prevent legal proceedings in civil forfeiture cases. He clarified that while criminal cases require proof beyond a reasonable doubt, civil forfeiture requires only reasonable suspicion. The judge stated that the respondent had failed to show any legitimate source of income for the acquisition of the properties, thereby granting a final forfeiture to the federal government. This ruling aligns with the EFCC's ongoing campaign to combat corruption and recover unlawfully acquired assets. Progressively, the Nigerian government, under Presidential Compressed National Gas (PCNG) initiative, has announced that refueling stations for CNG will be officially commissioned on April 25, 2025, in 6 locations across the country. These stations will be opened in Enugu, the Federal Capital Territory, Lokoja in Kogi State, Port Harcourt in Rivers State, Ado-Ekiti in Ekiti State, and Abia State. This announcement was made by Kenechukwu Chukwu, Technical Advisor for Stakeholder Management and Public Engagement. The development is part of a broader clean energy initiative aimed at reducing Nigeria's dependence on petrol, cutting emissions, and promoting the use of domestically produced natural gas as a transport fuel. The initiative also supports job creation and industrial growth under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu's administration. Further milestones under the initiative include the signing of a $6 million investment deal with the Aret Mini LNG project on April 4, which will help expand CNG infrastructure to northern Nigeria. On April 11, the PCNG initiative is expected to sign a groundbreaking agreement with public sector unions that will see the conversion of 200,000 public sector vehicles to CNG systems. A tricycle development program in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Youth is scheduled to launch on April 15. Additionally, on May 5, CNG-powered buses will be handed over to members of the Nigerian Army. This will be followed by the commencement of training programs for the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Police on May 19, focusing on CNG operation and maintenance. The initiative will also operationalize an auto-gas framework in May to ensure steady and affordable supply of CNG to the transportation sector. This will be executed in collaboration with the Gas Aggregation Company of Nigeria, GACN, and Nigeria Gas Marketing Limited, NGML. Continuing, Mr. Bashiru Bayo Ojulari has officially assumed the role of Group Chief Executive Officer, GCEO, of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited. His appointment was approved by President Bola Tinubu and marked a new phase in the leadership of Nigeria's foremost oil company. Ojulari takes over from Mele Kyari, who led significant reforms at the NNPC. Ojulari, a mechanical engineer with decades of experience in the oil and gas sector, most recently served as Executive Vice President at Renaissance Africa Energy Company. Speaking at the handover ceremony in Abuja, Ojulari commended Kyari's efforts in steering the company through its transformation into a limited liability entity and pledged to build on the achievements made under his leadership. He expressed confidence in the capacity of the NNPC team and vowed to promote transparency, innovation, and profitability in his tenure. To support the new GCEO, NNPC also announced a restructured executive management team comprising 8 key officials who will oversee various arms of the company's operations. These appointments, which take immediate effect, signal a renewed focus on efficiency, strategic partnerships, and sustainable energy development. In other news, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has ruled that internal leadership disputes within political parties fall outside the jurisdiction of the judiciary, effectively reversing the earlier Court of Appeal decision that recognized Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. In a unanimous decision, a 5-member panel of the Apex Court stated that the resolution of such disputes must be guided strictly by party constitutions and internal mechanisms. The court ruled that Abure's tenure had ended and that only the party's internal structures could determine his legitimacy or otherwise. The Supreme Court's ruling nullified a January 2025 Court of Appeal judgment which had upheld Abure's leadership. The judgment instead favored Nenadi Usman, the leader of a caretaker committee formed after Abure's tenure was disputed. Despite the ruling, the Labour Party's National Working Committee has insisted that Abure remains the duly elected chairman. The party's legal advisor, Kehinde Edun, emphasized that the court only declined jurisdiction and did not explicitly remove Abure from office. Party spokesperson Obiora Ifo added that Abure had been nominated and ratified during a national convention held in March 2024, which followed due process according to the Labour Party constitution. The party urged its members to adhere to internal dispute resolution processes and avoid dragging internal matters into the courts. In a rather heartwarming report, the Taraba State Government, in partnership with the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has successfully rescued and reunited 8 children who were trafficked from Mindal village in Lao local government area. The children were deceitfully taken to Aba Onitsha and Imo State under the false claim that they were orphans in need of care. They were intercepted in Gembu, Sadauna local government area following joint intelligence operations. During a press briefing, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Child Development, Honorable Mary Sinjen, condemned the trafficking ring and vowed that the perpetrators would face justice. She described the case as a chilling example of how traffickers exploit vulnerable rural communities. The Taraba State Commandant of NAPTIP, Mr. Amos Gembo, revealed that the ringleader, a woman named Patience, confessed that the children had been acquired for amounts ranging from 50,000 to 80,000 naira. Authorities believe she is part of a wider trafficking network operating under the guise of providing educational and caregiving opportunities. The state government has reaffirmed its commitment to combating child trafficking and called on parents to remain vigilant. Officials have also launched sensitization campaigns in vulnerable communities to prevent future incidents. Conclusively, President Bola Tinubu has appointed Ayo Shoteri as the new Managing Director of the Bank of Agriculture, BOA, and Nasiru Naim Abdul Salam as the Managing Director of Ajaokuta Steel Company. Shoteri, who previously served as the Group CEO of SAO Group, is widely known for leading large-scale infrastructure and agribusiness projects. His portfolio includes a 20,000-hectare oil palm plantation and a $2 million water project in Akure. He also led SAO Capital, which mobilized over $750 million in funding for development-focused investments. His appointment is expected to reposition the BOA as a central player in the food security and economic diversification strategies of the Renewed Hope agenda. Nasiru Naim Abdul Salam, the new MD of Ajaokuta Steel, has a strong background in legislative and technical advisory roles. He previously served as a special assistant academics at the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies and as technical advisor to the Minister of Steel Development. His mandate is to revive the long-dormant Ajaokuta Steel Company and transform it into an engine for industrial growth and job creation. Both appointments take immediate effect and are in line with the federal government's agenda to reposition critical institutions for national development.
The papyrus, hoodie on my table every month. I don't